Hello, welcome to My Life in Spain. My name is Mark, and today I want to talk a little bit more about collecting your American Social Security in Spain and if you can afford to live off it. Now, a few weeks back, I'm going to say maybe a month ago, I made a video about how you can collect your Social Security overseas, that you don't need to have it sent to an American bank account. I have it paid directly into my Spanish bank account from the Federal Reserve in New York, and it's there every third of the month. If you live overseas, you're getting your money on the third of the month. Without fail, if the third of a month happens to fall on a federal holiday or Saturday or Sunday, you get the money on the Friday beforehand. So, I mean, just recently, I think last month, the Friday was actually it was the third. It was a holiday, and so I got the money on Thursday. And it's every month like clockwork. I usually get it about between 9 and 10 o'clock in the morning. But because I live overseas, what they do, every year they send you out a form. And you have to fill in this form. It's like a proof of life, I suppose, to show that you're still living and you're not just sending the money to your relatives or something. I mean, I remember a story back in New Jersey where these two brothers were collecting the Social Security from their mother 3 years after she died. What they did was they buried her in the backyard just to keep getting the money every month. So I can see it happens, and that's why they send out these letters. Now, the form is really simple. All you got to do is tick no. If nothing's changed in your life, you just tick no to 4 boxes, turn it over, sign it, and date it. And that's it. Then mail it back. You got to mail it back to Social Security Administration in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. So today, I got this last week, and so I thought let's get it gone sooner rather than later. Because if I put it on the side and forget, if they don't get it back within 60 days, they'll stop your Social Security. And then it's a hassle to try and get it going again. So I got the bus this morning. I got the number 1 bus from Zona Norte, where I live, into town to the central post office. And rather than just go the cheap route and just put it in the mail to Wilkes-Barre, I wanted to have it certified so I can track it, and they have to sign for it on their end. So if a couple of months goes by and they say we never got it, I can say, well, yes, you did. You signed for it. So that's something you'll encounter if you're collecting Social Security overseas. Now, the next thing we're going to move on to now is I've had lots of people in the comments on the last video about Social Security ask me, can you afford to live on Social Security in Spain? And in my case, yes, I can. Now, I retired at 62 and started collecting at 62. And the average amount of Social Security that you get paid at 62 is $1,420 something. I get around that. I'm not going to say exactly how much, but it's not far from that, or over it. A little bit under, a little bit over, whatever. You can decide yourselves. But I live really well on it in Spain. I couldn't live in America on this money. No way. No chance. I mean, just my rent, or if I had to pay a mortgage or the HOA, it's impossible. Plus, you need to have a car. Car insurance in America, you'll pay for a month what you pay in Spain for a year. Now, I don't have a car here. I had when I first moved, I brought my car with me. If I was to do it again, I wouldn't, because you don't need a car here. If you live in a city, you can afford to live without a car because of public transport. I can get anywhere I need to get. Now, I live in a city of just over 60,000, and rent here is cheap. Well, when I say cheap, I'm comparing it to America. I just watched the video the other day from Spain Revealed from James Blick, and he and his wife moved from the center of Madrid to a town on the outskirts about 30 minutes away. And they were deciding to rent to make sure it's the place they wanted to live. And they're paying $2,000 a month for not a huge apartment, really. So that's a lot of money. I mean, if you can afford it, you can live in Madrid or Barcelona, or even Valencia is getting more expensive now. It really is. But if you go to some smaller cities, you can easily cut that rent in more than half. I mean, the city I'm in, you can find something for 600, 700 a month. That's nice. My wife and I, we own our apartment, so we don't have any mortgage or any rent to pay. And like I say, I don't have a car, so that means I don't have car insurance. I don't have to pay for parking. I don't have to pay for gas. Because I'm over 60, I get a bus pass for 30 euros a year for everywhere in town here. And yeah, we get by. I mean, I'd like to say I couldn't live on my Social Security in the United States. That would be impossible. I mean, when you think about all the bills you have in the United States, they're outrageous. Everything is too expensive. It really is. I mean, prices have been going up here in Spain, but I can live well on Social Security. Like I've just told you all the things I don't have to pay. My HOA, or we call it a vecino fee here. It's the building I live in. There's 20 apartments, and we all pay, I think it's 15 euros a month. We don't have an elevator, though. I live on the first floor. We don't have an elevator. But if you live in a building with an elevator, you can expect to pay 50 euros a month, maybe 60. As an example, my friend Ruben lived in Century Village in Florida, which is not a huge upscale community, but mostly retired people. And his HOA there, even if he owned the place outright, which he did, was 700 a month. So compare 700 a month to 15 euros a month. It's a no-brainer, you know. The next thing, what else is the difference? I told you car insurance. What you pay for a year here, if you want a car, is the same like you pay for a month in Florida. Everything's less expensive. Medical bills are less expensive. You don't have co-pays. If you're moving from the United States, now I'm in a unique position. My wife is Slovak, so they're in the European Union. Slovak is in the European Union. I have two passports, American and British. And I moved here in 2010 when the UK was still in the European Union. So I'm grandfathered in, which means it meant I could stay after Brexit. So because I'm allowed to live here, I worked here, I paid taxes into the system, which meant I had access to the public health, the socialized medicine. So I don't have any medical bills to pay a month. No medical insurance, let's say, a month. Zero co-pays, nothing. And that's a big relief, you know? If you want to move here to Spain, you're going to need private insurance. And that's going to cost you, depending on your age, let's say for a 70-year-old that's got no pre-existing conditions around 200 euros a month, which is a good deal. And the medical care is very good. They even will cover you. Your medical care here, your private medical care here will cover you in other countries. It won't cover you if you go back to the United States, though, because the United States is all messed up when it comes to the cost of medical care and medical insurance. But if you went to, say, Taiwan, you'd be covered. Okay, what else is the good things about how you can live here? If you're an American or a Canadian or you're non-European and you want to move to Spain to retire, you're going to need a non-lucrative visa. Now, the non-lucrative visa means you have enough money to support yourself. You have to show this. And right now, it costs, you have to prove that you have in pensions or income, passive income, 2,400 euros a month, which is somewhere between 26 and 27. No, it's around $2,600, I think. And then for every spouse, every other individual in your family, it's 600 euros per person. So if you just came with your wife, it's an extra 600. But you can live fantastic here. If you can do what I did and buy an apartment, you'll live really, really well. For people working here, I kind of feel bad because they're getting priced out with housing. They haven't built enough houses, and you've got all these rental properties for tourism. And of course they're cracking down on it, but it's pricing young people out of the market completely, and it's totally wrong. They need to do something about it. They need to do something about the over-tourism. This year in Spain, they're expecting to get 100 million visitors, which is, well, it's not obscene, but it's a huge amount of people. And while it brings a lot of money into Spain, it also creates a lot of problems, especially for people looking to live near where they work. If they work in hospitality in big cities, they're not going to get paid a lot of money. And, you know, you don't want to live an hour commute away from where you're working when you're working a low-paid job. So they're going to have to do something about that. I'm not saying don't come to Spain, but if you do come, go visit somewhere that's not on the radar, you know? Don't go to just Madrid, Barcelona, Valencia, Malaga, Seville. Go somewhere that other people aren't going to. Go to the north of Spain. Go to the Picos de Europa in Asturias. Spain's a wonderful country. There's so much to see and do. And if you don't like the crowds, there's plenty of places where you can disappear and really enjoy the real Spain, not the fake Spain that you're going to get as a tourist if you stick in these places I just mentioned. Also, I was going to make a separate video about this, but next month we have a total eclipse in Spain, and it's going to be visible in Spain, Greenland, and Iceland. But it's going to happen. I'm going to give you an insight here. If you're thinking of coming to Spain, I checked the date. I think it's like August 12th. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on this. But I know it's going to occur about 8:30 in the evening as the sun is setting. And if you want the best experience ever, go to somewhere like Menorca or Ibiza in the Balearic Islands and watch, because the sun there sets into the sea. If you're in the mainland Spain, you want to make sure you're up in a tall building or on side of a mountain or something. You don't want to be in a valley because the sun will set behind the mountains. Anyway, like I'm getting off track here, but I live really well in Spain on my Social Security, and unfortunately in America I'd still be working. Do you know? I just read a statistic today that there's over 11 million people over the age of 65 that are still working, and most of them are not working because they want to. They're working because they have to. So, kind of sad, huh? Anyway, that's my little video for Sunday. I hope you like it. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. And I really appreciate you watching. If you've not subscribed yet, please subscribe, and I'll catch you in my next video. Thanks again. Bye for now.